Hi everybody, this is Abby with Scrap and Abby, and I am super excited to do this video with you guys. I am lucky enough to get to participate in Miss Scrap and Madge's YouTube Hop that she's hosting. It's the Create Craft Share YouTube Hop, and it's going to be going live on Tuesday, April 29th. And I'll hold this up so you guys can see all the different people who are going to be in the hop. And there I am. So this is hosted again by Miss Scrap and Madge, and we're going to have a link in the video description so you guys can get to each of the different YouTube channels along the hop. So the purpose of this video is just to kind of share with you guys the creative process for me, what kind of items I'm going to be using in the project, some things I might pull out, some I might, add more to. So we need to keep our actual YouTube hop video showcasing the completed project within 10 minutes, and that's hard for me to do that. So when I combine my items I'm going to use in the video along with what my finished project is. So I'm choosing to do a separate video just sharing you guys the creative process for me, what I'm going to create, and then I'll have a separate video course the day of the hop, which is going to be, again, I'll put the description or information in the video. It's going to be on Tuesday, April 29th. So I'm really super excited about that, to participate. This is my very first YouTube hop, so I'm really excited that Scrap Madge let me join the lineup. So I'm very excited. So what we're going to be doing is working with this color palette, and this is the color story. And I love these bright colors, very summery, very springy to me, more summer actually because of the deeper tones. So what I was thinking of when I first saw this, what kind of came to mind for me is some kind of a summer, home decor item I could hang on my wall, or I could even hang it up at work if I chose to. So I'm going to be, let me back up and share with you really quickly. These are the list of sponsors that we have that are going to be participating, giving out some prizes and goodies with the hop. So the actual blog hop video that shows you guys my completed project, I'll have more information about this, but I wanted to share this with you really quickly. These are the people who are sponsoring. Very excited. I'm on the design team for 3 Girl Jam, and I'm just newly added to Lenny Blooms. I'm super excited. So anyway, so back to the project. What I decided to do for the color palette is I wanted to make my a mixed media canvas. And so this is just an 8.5 by 11 canvas. And this is the stencil that's going to be kind of the focal point for me. And this is one I picked up from Maison des Stencils. That's their blog, website right there. And I bought this off Blitsy, and I haven't used it yet, and this is the perfect opportunity. And it says, keep calm and soak up the sun. So this fits perfectly on here. It's hard to see because it's white, of course, on white. But this is the stenciling I'm going to be doing. And this to share with you really quickly some of the different mediums. Now, just because I'm showing you guys a ton of stuff does not mean this is what I'm going to be using on the final project. As you guys know, with my videos, I kind of share with you things that grab me, because I walk around with my IKEA cart and I kind of just start pulling things that I want to incorporate in the project. And some things I pull away and some things I add. So this is a gift bag. I love the texture on this. I might tear part of this off, put it on the canvas, cover it with some gesso or something like that. So we'll see how that goes. And then as far as some of the mediums, I have this white craft sand. I might incorporate that just to kind of mimic sand because it is the sun. Some gesso. I have just some light modeling paste in case I decide to stencil up some of the words instead of just using sprays. These are some golden mediums here. I've used the glass bead gel before. It's a really cool, fun effect. Have not used the clear tar gel, but I might use this on part of the sun application. Sorry about that. My phone just went off. So we'll see about that as I get going, because, obviously this isn't the biggest canvas. Some of the washi tape I might incorporate in here. Some of the yellows and the greens. I think those are really fun colors and hues. They match the project. And then as far as some texturing, you can create some really fun texture and dimension on your stencils, or excuse me, your canvases, by using just different types of stamps. So like this is a pattern I really like and I've used quite often. This is from Prima. I like that it says sunshine. I'll probably incorporate that somehow. These kind of mimic a sun, even though they're doilies, but you'll lend itself to look like it's imaging a sun, or even this one here. So just for some texture and background. And the same thing here with the houndstooth. I like the flower, and then the stripe. The music note's fun, but I'm not sure that would really go with, or the script with what I'm doing, but we'll see. So those are just some general ideas of texture stamping background. Some additional items I might incorporate. The bicycle, perhaps. I'm not sure. Some of these tiles, because they really go with the color palette. And then these flowers down here from Prima. I like the yellows and the pink. They kind of go with it, and even the pop of the black a little bit, because I'm going to be incorporating just a little bit of black just as a grounding color. And then some additional stencils I may or may not use. I just grabbed a couple from Heidi Swap I have. We shall see. I have this really fun texture. It's almost like paper ribbon. It's got a really cool wrinkle to it. I thought that might be fun to possibly stretch on a portion of it, cover it with some gesso and some sprays, just to add a little more dimension. I'm going to put some of these, I really want to use the banners. I don't know if I want to use the plain ones from Maya Road and stamp my own stuff on it, maybe some letters, or use these from Prima Donna Downey's and then also incorporate those. So we shall see what the project lends to itself. I may stamp the word sunshine on one of these chipboard tags. I don't know. We'll see. And some papers. This is just from Webster's Pages. Has some really cool, fun summer images, picnicking, things like that. And then just for some more added texture, in addition to the stamps I shared with you guys, I also like to incorporate like the rub-ons, like the different, squiggly lines, maybe some of the flowers. Even though this is Valentine's Day, I could certainly use this, not the non-heart or nondescript Valentine pieces in there. And then, I may want to end up stenciling a word or something, or excuse me, using a rub-on for a word. And I haven't use much of these, but I really like, I'll show you the green here really quickly. I like the different scripts. This is also adds texture to your project, in the blue, because that's also in the color palette. And I'm going to attempt to make my own sun with some tissue paper, so I'll let you guys see how that turns out. And then in case I don't like any of the other mediums I've shown you for texture, I might use some of these laces, these pieces of like the paper doilies, but this is a long one. You can use it for a border, so I might incorporate that. And then if I don't end up using some of the stamps, I just like to have options around me when I'm crafting. That's just my creative process. Some of these chipboard letters, which of course I would gesso over, the ones that don't really match, and just some different word stickers, because you never know, just kind of randomly around the canvas. Now this sounds like this is going to be way too busy, but trust me, I do dial down. I just like to have choices. So I just like to make that kind of clear, because I don't want people to think I'm some crazy person putting just tons and tons of stuff on, an 8.5 by 11 canvas. And I think that was everything I had to share with you guys as far as the getting the canvas ready. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on this. And again, I just want to show you guys the color palette that I'm going to be building off of. Oh, most important, I totally forgot. I don't have them all pulled out yet, but I'm going to be incorporating some of my Lindy sprays. The Tiffany Lou Blue, I have the Cement Green, I have a bunch of other ones over there, so I just have to get them out of my storage rack. So I'll be incorporating some different Lindy sprays just to kind of, add to this color palette, because I really, really like how this looks. This is a fun color story for sure. And again, just to tell you guys, this is going to be on Tuesday, April 29th, the Create, Craft, and Share YouTube Hop. And these are the 10 designers that get to be featured in the lineup. And again, there I am. I'm so excited. Anyway, I'm going to get started on the project because I'm itching to get going on this. I'm excited, and I will be back with you guys. If I end up doing something really cool like the sun piece, I'll come back and start the video, because again, this is just going to be the inspiration piece, what I'm going to be working on, and then possibly doing maybe a small tutorial on how I create this. The complete project will be showcased in a completely separate video, but I'll link them together. So thanks guys, I'll be back shortly. So I used a couple different types of background to create this awesome texture, and I used, let me show you really quickly. I used some of that paper bag that I showed at the beginning. I just kind of tore, and then here I have some of that doily paper that I used, and then I incorporated quite a few strips of this paper kind of crinkled ribbon tape that I had in my stash, and I added some of that glass bead gel medium up here, and then kind of just a little bit, let's see, up here on the top, and just kind of randomly in the corner, and I let this dry overnight just so everything was set and you know, really ready for me to start layering my colors. And as you can tell, I already started with the first one, and I was like, oops, forgot to turn the camera on. So what I'm using are a couple different ones. This is actually from Tattered Angels, and I've never even used this. I've had it for, I don't know, a year or more, and it's the Apricot Nectar, and it's the chalkboard, and I was like, I wonder how that chalkboard texture would look, and so I just did I made some swatches, and I really like the colors, and it really does go with the color palette in the color story that we're supposed to be using for the project. And then I have from Lindy's a bit of bubbles, and then this is the Starburst spray, and this is what that looks like. So I'm going to be using that as accent as well. And then I grabbed from this is actually from, oh my goodness, trying to find it here really quick. Clear Snap. This is Stephanie Barnard's spray, and it's in the guava, and that's what it looks like, but it was pretty bright, and I was like, I don't know if I think I want to make it quite that bright, because I wanted it to be, you know, blending in with the rest of the colors. So I just used one of my little mini misters, added a little bit of that guava, and then I added some water, and that's the color I came up with. So you guys can see the difference in color. So I just kind of muted it down with water, and then it really fits in within that color palette. So what I've done is I just started spraying, and I'm going to kind of do an ombre effect down the entire canvas, and I'm going to, once I get this color, I'm going to kind of go down to that little middle yellow golden color, and then I'm going to kind of finish off with that pink I made, because I really like how that looks over the glass bead. And I'm going to be, this isn't quite dry, so I don't want to set this down all the way, but I'm going to be laying this here. Oops, let me get in frame. Sorry, guys. I'm going to lay this here and then do the spraying. And the color I'm going to use for the entire stencil is going to be this Tiffany Lou Blue, because I really want that one just to pop, because that's how this looks to me. The very first color I'm drawn to, my eyes go to, is that turquoisey blue. So that's the reason I'm doing it that way. And I didn't want to do a bunch of random sprays all over, because I didn't want this tie-dyed effect, because that's not really my style. And also wanted to note that if this was not a project using those bright colors, I would have went back over some gesso, because you can still see peaks of that pink gift bag popping up, but it really blends it's in with the color palette. So I'm going to go ahead and on camera and just kind of keep going and go from there. So I'm just going to finish drying this off a little bit, and then I'm going to work with the next one. So I was wondering if that, this is the bit of bubbles, I was wondering if that chalkboard would make kind of like a rough matte look or something to it, but it seems like it's sticking pretty well to the different textures I have on there. So normally I spray in a box when I do this, but since I wanted to kind of get this on camera, I wanted to do it on here. And I'm going to kind of come down just a little bit and pick up some of that the bit of bubbles into the gel medium. You can see how it's picking it up right there. You guys can see that okay. And I don't want to hold my heat tool too long over the glass bead gel medium, because I don't want it to like start to bubble or come loose, because it is an adhesive type of mixture in there. So I'm just going to kind of lightly go over this. If this part goes too long, then I'll stop the video and then come back on, because I don't want to make this portion too long. And kind of do that. And then I don't really have a yellow spray. It's on my list of sprays to get on my next batch from Lindy's. I kind of pick in color families when I do my purchasing from them, so that's kind of in my next batch, is some more of the yellow tones and like sun yellow and things like that. But this is really pretty. I like this one. I like how that looks. It's kind of really nice, and it kind of really goes into this nice, you know, tone here. So now I'm going to be using that one I mixed together with guava in the water, and I just want to lay my stencil over the top again, because I just want to kind of keep a conscious eye of where I'm doing this, because I don't want to make the background underneath here so dark that you don't see the turquoise or the Tiffany Lou Blue when I spray it. So I'm just kind of holding it right here And I'm just going to kind of mentally remember just to kind of go over this corner here. And if I go over a little bit, that's okay. That's part of the process. And I can always cover it with a little bit of gesso if I don't like how it looks. So it's just creative play. You never know how it's going to turn out. Oops. It helps if you have your nozzle actually facing the canvas. Oh, that's crazy. So I kind of like that, how it's a little bit darker like that. So I'm going to do this. Maybe kind of up here on the side a little bit. And then I'm going to heat tool again. And what I'm going to do once I get this part dry is I'm going to go ahead and go over this with some more of the yellow color down here, just so it's not quite so white, because I don't want the back of the canvas to be white at all. And another thing too, since I'm doing this, I don't know if this is going to be hung on the wall or how I'm going to display it, but I'm just trying to to consciously remember to spray on the sides of my canvas. Oops. I don't care, and you can pick it up too if that's a little bit easier, which I might do, because this nozzle is a little bit smaller than the Lindy's ones. And I don't care so much if it actually covers every bit of the white, because that's kind of the fun part of this, because I'll be able to use my background stamps and things that I shared with you guys on this project. So I'm just kind of doing that. And I'm going to focus over here a little bit just to kind of make sure I got those colors dry. So I think what I'll do, because like I said, I made some color swatches and I tried out a couple different ones, and you can't really see them. They're not very, they don't show up so well. I think they're more of a subtle hint of color. And what it was, what did I put them? Oh, did I put them away? It was more of the Lindy's. What in the world? Where in the world did those go? Oh, here's one. It's the Starburst, and it's the Don't Eat Golden Snow. And I was hoping this was going to kind of show up a little bit more yellow just because of the name, but it didn't show up so much on that white cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and go back in with more of this, a bit of bubbles. Just kind of lightly gets a little bit of color down here on the side. And it's just really cool because all those different mediums I stuck on here are really picking up the color. So like the paper doily and that paper tape you see crinkled down the center. I love that this is crinkled up and ridged so high. It did that overnight when it was drying, and that's perfect because that's what I wanted, some dimension and you know, some different color, you know, different texture to it like that. So we'll do this, and then what I'm going to do is use some of my Cactus Gold, which is this one here, and this is the Glitz Spritz. I'm going to kind of go over and add some of that to it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off because I want to let this really have a good time to dry before I start spraying my turquoise or the Tiffany Lee Blue, because I don't want those colors to run together, because I really want this you know, the stencil image to really be crisp and clear. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off, and I'll be back when I'm ready to layer the stencil on. Okay guys, I am back with the completed canvas, and I'm loving how this turned out. As you guys can tell from the last portion of the video, I did quite a bit of extra texture and inking and things like that, and added a few little word embellishments. And I'm going to show you guys up close here just so you can see it. Just all the texture and the stamping that I did. This is my son. Love how that turned out. Super cute, I think. And I just added some of those little word sayings. I'll show you where they're from here in just a moment. Sorry for that noise. My window's open in my room. It's actually a very sunny day today, so I'm enjoying the breeze. This is that little bicycle. I added some of the yellow, you know, color ink to it, and just kind of added a little bit of green to it just to kind of make it blend in. Couple more words down here, just some things that kind of evoke the things and activities and the feelings you get when it is sunny outside. And just did some stamping with some random stamps just to kind of add some visual interest and texture. So I'm going to go over this in more detail in the actual video that showcases the completed project. So I won't go over too much in here, but just to kind of share with you guys a couple of things that I added for using for texture on there. I use these two stamps here, the butterfly and the bee. I use some of this, you know, it's like the, you know, I'll think of it as soon as I'm off camera, but this diamond type Argyle pattern, there we go, remembered. The ink I used is Ranger Archival ink in jet black. And these I picked up at convention last year, and they're from Creative Imaginations. They're just a bunch of random different words and phrases. So I love using these, and they work perfectly on this type of project. I also use these 3 doilies, sometimes the full doily, sometimes just a corner of it. This is from My Mind's Eye on the canvas. And then I use just a few of the rub-ons. You'll be able to see them better in the actual the video of the hop. I don't want to spend too much time on that since I'm going to be talking about it, but I used some of the border down here, and I used a flower, and just a handful of mists and sprays that I shared with you guys earlier. And then the pen that you see around the lettering and the crown and around, you know, the word stickers, this is that pen I told you guys about from Scarlet Lime. I love it. And it works great on canvas. It's meant for mixed media. And if anybody knows or follows Chrissy Tomlinson, then you know that that's definitely what she uses. A lot of heavy textures, and then the pens work on them perfectly. And I use the Maya Row twine cording. This is a dandelion. This is what I use to string up my little sun banner down here. So that is the tutorial portion video, or kind of not really a tutorial, I guess, but more like a creative process and how I created some of the elements on this canvas. So if you guys want to be sure to check out the actual video, it's going to be live on Tuesday, April 29th, and it's going to show you guys the project up close and a little more information about the hop with some great sponsors, and you certainly don't want to miss out on that. So this, I can't have this live until the day of the hop, of course, because I can't do any sneak peeks, but I'll be sure to link at both videos so you guys can check them out. So thanks, you guys. If you have any questions on how I did anything, I meant to do this part on camera and I completely got engrossed in the moment and forgot to hit record. So I will definitely be using this technique again to create sculptures on my project. So if you guys want to see tutorials of, you know, me recreating the sun or anything else along that line, just leave me a comment and let me know, or you can send me an email to scrapandabby@gmail.com. Be sure to check out the hop, guys. Happy crafting.